My comments on Burke Life's video obviously drew the attention of people reading them, and one of the people who read my comments was called I Ate a Fish Head, somebody who apparently choked on Jesus. Anyway, his comments are the classical sociopathic type of comments that somebody who is bereft of an innate sense of morality would post. Like this, for example. Out of curiosity, if you do not believe in God, then where does morality come from? Who has the right to decide what is right or wrong? Is it majority rules? I seriously want to understand your viewpoint on this. Yeah, because it is clear that you lack the innate ability to arrive at moral decisions, because if you don't understand it, you obviously aren't feeling it. So he asks whether somebody is a sociopath because he's not like others or does not fall in line. No. But he clarifies why he is a sociopath by simply saying this: I do good not because God is watching, but because I love my God and want to please him. You see, normal human beings do good because it feels good, because they empathize with other people and they realize that if they don't feel good, they can put themselves in another person's position and know what it is like to be at the receiving end of their behavior. They don't do it to please anybody. And then he goes on about how he doesn't fear his wrath because he's obviously kissing his ass, and he thinks that that's enough to soothe his own conscience. Now, I am not interested in trying to explain this. I will go as far as telling him the basics. Normally, people are born with an innate moral instinct upon which their culture impresses local, parameterized variations. And he can take it from there if he's really interested. I'm stopping here because I see no value in trying to explain this to a sociopath. It would be like trying to explain to a person who is born without eyes and without a visual cortex what it's like to see. At best, they might arrive at an intellectual conceptualization of the concept of seeing, but they will never know what it's like to actually see. The other thing that I Ate a Fish Head decided to throw at me, how original, is Pascal's wager. Can you hear me stifling a yawn? No, what if you're wrong? What if by denying God you will spend forever in a never-ending eternity of hell? Can you hear the fapping noise? A place so bad that the torment is unbearable but will never end, ever. Fap, 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 fap. After all, you very well couldn't spend eternity in a peaceful place where the God in which you deny exists. Man, that would suck. Fap, 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 fap. For your sake, I hope your views are correct. They're not, but keep telling yourself they are. Maybe you will sleep a little better at night. Good luck, splat. And I told him, I picture you masturbating with your left hand while you're typing that with your right. He did not expect that. That's ridiculous. I need my left hand to type. Thinking he was being funny. Thanks for this comment. It just shows me where your mind is. I thought you were married. Does your wife realize you fantasize about men masturbating? You are a sick man with sick ideas. Oh God. How original. After uttering empty threats of hellfire and damnation, the fundy gets all in a huff if somebody mentions one of the most natural things in the world. Are you always this predictable? So I pointed him at a tiny little ditty of his own little booble. It's called Matthew 23, verses 23 and 24. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites! for ye pay tithe of mint and anise and cumin, and have omitted the weightier matters of the law, judgment, mercy, and faith. These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Keep straining at that net, my friend. He then, of course, realized that he'd stepped into it. And he came back to me and he said, I don't want you to endure eternal suffering. This is typically the time when they go like, but I don't want you to suffer forever. God does. If I did, I wouldn't even bring it to your attention. I tell you because I want you to spend eternity in heaven. If you put your faith in Jesus and accept his forgiveness, you will be saved. I'm not trying to sell you on anything, as I do not profit from your choice. All I wanted to do was make you aware. The choice is yours. I may not agree with your choice, but I will respect it. God gave us free will for a reason. You don't want me to endure eternal suffering? Why not? Is it that you think I don't deserve it? Or is it that you think that I would be wrong, that it would be wrong for me to suffer eternally? You see, I ask this for a reason. Because if in any way whatsoever they are telling me this, because they think that there is something wrong with me suffering, they're basically kicking their own God in the balls. Because God, according to their own fables, wants me to suffer eternally unless I accept his never-ending love. Say, please explain how exactly you are going to kick your God in the balls with your next response. This should be fun. I am still hoping that one of these fundamentalists one day will come back and tell me that, yeah, if you put it like that, I realize there's something innately perverted about thinking that somebody deserves to suffer eternally for making a life choice that I would consider wrong, but that in the end is just something that only affects a finite amount of time in a finite mortal person's life. But no, they're too afraid, too scared to upset their precious imaginary God. And so they drop any semblance of humanity when they realize they are pushed into that corner. And he goes, let's think about this, Roseboshi. I don't want you to endure eternal suffering. I would rather you turn from your ways, repent and follow God. That is what I would want. Then you wouldn't have to endure eternal suffering. Really. Of course, he continues, if you continue to deny God, you deserve eternal suffering. Just like those who break the law deserve their consequence. I guess you just got kicked in the balls. Not at all. Laws are like people, my friend. There are good people and bad people, and there are good laws and bad laws. And I will not subject myself to bad laws. I will not submit to nasty little laws that only have been put in place to subjugate and oppress. Never. And if that entails consequences, then I will bear them with magnanimity. But you, my friend, I can only reply with, I just wanted to make sure you didn't hide behind your hypocrisy. I will never believe in your bullshit. And for that, you feel I deserve to suffer. Just stop the pious lip service to decency, because you are not a decent person. You are rotten to the core. Thank you.